The COVID aid bill includes some money that's intended to provide aid to minority farmers to get rid of some of their debt as a result of government policy that provided that debt. And the right says that's not necessary because there hasn't been any racism in this area or at all, but definitely not any racism towards black or brown farmers. And to demonstrate how little racism there is in this area, here is Steven Crowder and his gang of idiots.
About the new policy, these people. So yeah, I'm gonna buy a plow, man.
I'm gonna plant that corn.
Go get a John Deere. Barack Obama, mother. I'm the president of plowing that head. You.
I thought the last thing they would want to do is be farmers. Wasn't that a big problem for hundreds of years?
Yeah. Isn't that why Arsenio Hall called himself the urban man's Johnny Carson?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Are people lining up out in the middle of cornfield, Iowa for new dunks?
How would you prove this, by the way? Like, how would you prove that you've been discriminated against?
You don't have to, you just
I didn't get that loan. Sir, you had no credit. Well, that should not have stopped me from getting the loan.
I planted a Hennessy tree, but it's not growing.
Well, technically it did grow, but it ain't XO.
I put it in the ground.
I planted a VSOP XO tree. I'm getting into some niche esoteric cognac humor.
See?
Oh, good job.
There's no racism. There's nothing like that, JR. You don't have to fix a problem if the problem doesn't exist.
Yeah, they never said the N-word, so all that's fine. This is the basis for the way that we like to, it's the basis for the way that we would like to characterize who the racists are in this country and who the people who are having platforms like this perpetuate and push this kind of racism. This isn't new. This is nowhere new. The minstrel show he's got up there, all he didn't do was slap on some black paint and red lips. It's the only thing he didn't do.
He certainly has in the past.
Absolutely, because when you think this is all just fun and games and there's telling a few jokes and what do you know, this is what leads people to believe it's okay to then mistreat folks in policy, in justice, and in the way that you spread things out. So that when things do get changed, you now have somewhere internally, because you've listened to people like this long enough, you go, well, yeah, these black folks have bad credit. That's why they got their loans denied or delayed. Just make that assumption. You know why? Because all black folks are going to do is plant some Hennessy and VSOP, because it can be over the top enough because people embedded in their brains. I hate this human being so much. I don't have to consider them being anyway normal. Yeah, sure, they're so dumb. What was the dunking line in Miller Corn? What is he talking about?
I don't know. I doubt he knows either.
It doesn't matter. As long as the hate is there, that's all. That's the end of the game.
And that's all that was there. So let's enter this in as the most recent exhibit in the are conservatives conservative because of economic anxiety or racism? Well, I don't know for sure, but I can tell which they think it is. Are they trying to appeal to the economically anxious? Or are they trying to appeal to racists? Which do you think? Again, judge them based on their choices. When Tucker does a segment, or when whatever the hell that was, which were they targeting with their content? And it's pretty clear. You know what conservatives really love, by the way? Dumb rhetorical questions that are rhetorical, not in that they can't be answered, but only in that they have no interest in actually answering them. So when the guy, I don't know who they are, said, how would you even show that? Well, you could do some research. We showed you, it wasn't hard. You can find information about loans being denied and all of that. You can actually find that information if you're curious about the world, rather than just putting out stupid rhetorical questions. And I want to point out there was a commenter on Twitter who alluded to this, but the idea is, remember that racism is an actual issue. The only major crisis facing America is cancel culture, because cancel culture ruins everything. And in particular, it ruins comedy. Comedians are constantly talking about cancel culture. And what happens is cancel culture comes in and it makes comics bad because now they can't talk about things. But not there. That is a cancel culture free zone, which is why comedy has flourished and has advanced into new forms. I mean, he's really pushing boundaries. He made a joke about how black people like dunking and they drink Hennessy. That is the sort of groundbreaking comedy that only comes from stopping cancel culture people from getting involved. Ugh. Can you imagine being in that room? That sad, sad room of these really sad white men that so want to be cool. They so badly want to be cool and they don't even know how to do it.
And the worst part is after all those rants, they'll encounter a black person and then start talking to them like they like them. Happens all the time. So the whole thing, I have a best friend that's black. Oh man, I got black friends. All that stuff, because the things that people like to say they think is funny and behind closed doors are things like this. And then afterwards, they like to claim in society, oh yeah, I'm just this normal guy. I was just making a couple of jokes. Hey, would you make those jokes on a serious level when we're actually talking about something that changed people's lives? Because what you're trying to do is put forward the fact that these folks don't deserve it. Someone else does. That changes people's lives. So these are no longer jokes. These are trying to influence the way policies actually are implemented, and it's worked so far. Because again, this isn't new. Minstrel shows were always there, and people go, "What's wrong with blackface? It doesn't happen anymore." It absolutely still happens, 100%, and it helps steal the humanity from certain people. And I know I've said it 3 times now, but it needs to be said over and over and over again. People don't think someone who is not really at their level, as far as a humanitarian level, doesn't deserve anything, doesn't deserve life. So why would they deserve $5 billion in subsidies for the work they do? Whatever.
Ugh, sad country full of sad people.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.